another episode of Schmoedown Night in Canada, and boy, have we got another banger episode where we're covering two great matches. I'm your friendly neighborhood soda, and once again with me is my brother from another mother, Mr. Dave Lees. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing great. To be fair, I've never met your mother. We could be brothers. I don't know. Have you met my mother?
I maybe. All I can say is I've always wanted a brother, and I'm an only child, so
Two sisters. Man, I can, so I can relate.
right. Well, yeah, right on,
But
right on.
I'm excited to be here talking about some of my favorite competitors.
Yeah, and we might as well just hop in right out of the bat. The first match that we're covering is the probably the best character in the Schmoedown right now, the delinquent Lon Harris versus Sabina Graves. I actually don't know if she has a nickname. Does she?
No, you know what? I don't think so. It's
Yeah, I didn't hear one in the episode.
no, neither did I. And I'd have to, huh, huh.
That's
Ladies
a
and gentlemen,
rarity. I have to say that's a rarity.
we have, well, if there is, and we have just insulted Sabina, please, leave a comment down below and let us know.
Yeah, because we don't want to ruin our reputations as Canadians of being nice. We don't like making mistakes. We don't like insulting people. That's just what we do up
We
here.
we don't like insulting people, but can I say there's not a doubt in my mind that what you said about Lon the delinquent potentially being the best character in the Schmoedown right now. I think it's far and away. The delinquent is what we all needed. We just didn't know it yet.
Oh yeah, no, his promo work and just his character, just every match just keeps getting better and better and better. And his whole shtick with Winston, where Winston's always trying to find him. The one that made me laugh is when he called Ellis and Harloff narcs.
Where in the world is Lon Harris?
Yeah,
I love it, and I love his
yeah.
Lon at the beginning of the season was not someone who I saw really fitting with Winston. I was like, Winston's got this energy that I just don't know if Lon can match. But the delinquent is, and the pairing with Winston, I hope this is a pair that we see forever.
Oh, we have to. I don't want. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't want to ever see Lon with another character. The only other person I could see him probably having similar chemistry with would be Kate. To be honest.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, I could see that. But he can't be the delinquent would not fare well at Pride Rock. He'd be tagging stuff. He'd be keeping all the lions up. I just don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah. He'd be one of the hyenas.
he he would, and
He'd be
I
Ed.
gotta. Oh my god, yeah, that's great. You know what? Who's to say he wasn't? Who's to say he wasn't?
Fair enough.
I gotta say though, Lon Harris this season reminds me a lot of both Mike Kalinowski and William Bibiani in different phases of their career. There was a time for both of those guys where they took what they were doing very seriously, and it was all about show up and get the stuff right. Bibbs always had that fun charm in him, and Kalinowski was always a really nice guy. But then there's a point for both of them. I think it's around Bibbs's after Bibbs leaves the Four Horsemen and then forms Critically Acclaimed, and it's after Mike starts in being a villain, where they're just having fun and their game has elevated to the next level. I think that's what we're seeing with Lon now.
Yeah, you're 100% correct in that comparison. And generally, I've noticed again, this is like a whole wrestling thing. Once you embrace a character and then you start to have fun, that's when you always get the best results, because it just shows how invested you are. And I'm not saying Lon wasn't invested with the Professor, because it was actually a pretty decent character, but the Delinquent was just was just like a whole nother level that we didn't know. I didn't know he had, and I'm glad to see he did.
Yeah, me too. And without further ado, like let's get into this match. Maybe not the longest match we've ever seen in Schmoedown history, but still, I think a lot of great stuff to look at here, especially from Lon's end.
Yeah, no, you're correct. It wasn't the longest match. I was actually able to watch it on my lunch break today. That's how short it was.
Yeah, and I think now, if just after round one, you may not have thought that because we see Lon go, see Lon go 7 of 8, and Sabina go 6 of 8. And to be fair, Mark Ellis is right. The two best wrong answers that she could have had in Geppetto and Jane Fonda. I'm like,
and with the squiggly lines to boot for Jane Fonda.
I gotta say, I know Sabina didn't win this match, and we're gonna talk about that a little bit more here. Yeah. But I really love just the energy and the fun she was bringing. I would love to see her on a team of some kind next year.
Yeah, I found she did, because she has appeared on a team before, and I found that's where she played better in my humble opinion. But yeah, no, I think Siri, put her in a team next year, someone who would complement her quirkiness very well.
Yeah, and her and Sam Levine, I thought were a really good, interesting pick, where they just both seemed where they were two sides of the opposite coin, two opposite sides of the same coin, where they were both being just so pleasant, but he was killing you with snark, and she was killing you with kindness, and that was and that was just entertaining from a chemistry point of view, I've thought.
Oh yeah, you can never always expect Sam to have the witty one-liners, and I like the little bit at the beginning between him and Winston, where it's like, oh, he's my favorite actor. I loved him in this, and I loved him in Not Another Teen Movie, and yeah, I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was great. Now, what this round ends in a KO. Remind me again, what were the what category did Lon end up going with?
Oh god dang it. What am I blank? I'm blanking on what the category was. You know what? I'm sorry, I don't remember. I want to say 20. No, it was the 90s.
Yes, there we go. I only asked because there is a point in my notes where I had written Lon's round 2 category, and then it just goes down knockout, and I'm like, well then, yeah. That is not helpful. But 1990s, I like the bit where Winston's talking about him. That's back when you had tenure, back when you were making memories.
Yeah, making memories, which made me laugh. Just like, and all of a sudden he started doing drugs and forgot everything.
Yeah, Lon we've seen expanding his knowledge and really flexing his muscles this season. Is this the best, do you think, that we've seen him play in the Schmoedown so far?
Are you talking this match or this season?
Just this match, really, because I really think this is an impressive showing.
It is. This is his first singles match of the year, was it not?
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, but also compared to his couple matches he's had with Final Exam,
he was good before that. But like I said earlier, now that he's doing this different character, he's found that next gear that that a lot of successful superstars or whatever need, and it's definitely an elevated game. Like I said, it's not like he wasn't good before, but yeah, now it's in a whole totally different gear.
Mm-hmm. And I want to talk a little bit, and I jumped ahead of what I wanted to point out. There's a little bit of a disconnect between Winston and Lon in who's going to be going first. Winston's like, I think you should go first. put the gas on. And Lon's like, no, 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 no. I'll go second. I'm gonna go second. In these moments, do you like players taking that agency, or would you rather have the manager put their foot down and say, I think this is the right call?
In this instance, I thought it worked. It played into the whole character dynamic that the two had. Because normally it's the manager and the player always agree on what they're gonna do. Um, so yeah, no, I think in this instance it worked out very well because, like I said, it kind of plays into their whole teamwork there.
No, that I agree, and I think that usually the I like the player making the final decision because at the end of the day, they are the one who has to answer the questions.
Yeah.
I thought it was just interesting because this is I feel like at the beginning of the year we weren't seeing a lot of this disconnect, but now I feel like it's come up a couple times with Kaiser, came up with Koi a few weeks ago, so or back in the IG tournament a few weeks ago. Where does the time go, right? So I just think it's
Yeah,
interesting
I
that
know, right?
now we're getting deeper and deeper into the season. We're seeing a little bit more of that push and pull as managers and players become more comfortable with each other.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why do you think that is? Is it because they're getting more comfortable with each other, or
Uh, yeah, I think it might have something to do with that. And as you know, coaches in any sport, and I know that managers have the title of managers, but what they really are is they are the coaches and the
yeah,
GM of these factions. It's they will always think that they have the right call in mind, and as players can sometimes get in their heads and them back. Um, and I think it's just a matter of at the beginning of the season, we may have seen a lot of these newer managers like the Winstons and the Coys um, still working out, figuring out how managing was actually going to look
mhm.
in this era. And now that they've been around these players and they have that comfortability, that challenging of authority that we're looking into.
Yeah, and like I mean, Winston and Lon have had plenty of opportunities to get comfortable with each other because this is what the. I know this was recorded earlier, but this is what the fourth match in a fourth week in a row we've had Lon and Winston in a match.
Yeah, and this would be their fifth. Yeah, and this would be their fifth match together because they had the
Yeah,
match against the Experiment earlier this season.
yeah. I'm sitting here thinking about it. It's like we've got people who are friends like Kaiser and Smets and whatnot, but I think this is when it comes to manager and competitor, this is probably the best chemistry that I've seen.
Uh, I think, I think honestly, it's just Winston. I think Winston works very well with the squad he's chosen because the only other example I could think of for a player and a manager this well, outside of the obvious of like Shin and Mike or Kaiser and Smets, who just
Yeah.
they're friends or literally dating, was Winston and Ace, and I think it's just a testament to Winston's managerial style and why I have no doubt that he'll be winning Manager of the Year at the end of this year.
Oh yeah, yeah. Every match he's in, he just shows that it's his award to lose, like no matter what.
Oh, oh, truly, truly. The match is going to end with Sabina. She had already gone directors. Lon's going to steal a lot. He's going to steal two of her two. She goes to multiple choice both times, and Lon does very well in category. Match ends 16-8. Do you have any thoughts on this match?
Um, yeah. I mean, Lon was dominant, but the match wasn't really anything special. To, if I got to be honest, it really wasn't. It was just standard match to me. Like
Hey,
which is interesting because we're coming off this string of so many barn burner matches. like from the Inner Geekdom tournament, for the Star Wars tournament, with the throwdowns, and I don't know. I guess I guess I had a lot of expectations or something, but to me, it just kind of felt meh.
Well, that's what tournament season with seeding does, right? You see these Sabina, a player who has never played in singles outside of the free for all, only played in a teams format, hasn't competed
Yep.
in any online capacity, go up against someone like Lon, who is seasoned, has a lot of experience, and is practice in this new realm. I think there's going to be a lot of matches, not a lot of, but a few matches very similar to this, where the match is almost decided halfway through until we get to the second round.
Yeah. No, that second round was what it was.
It was what now similar to, I feel like I was having a conversation with Lou a few weeks ago about nothing special. Second round KOs, those rarely happen. This is a very special time to be alive.
Yes, it is.
Anything else you want to talk about before we move on to our second match?
Yeah, other than I hope that excuse me, sorry. I hope that Sam actually does become Winston's pool boy. Because really their usual suspects are not going anywhere, so he's going to need all the work he can get. And he's a smaller guy, so he would be very handy to get into smaller spaces. So I'd say hire him to do maintenance.
That was a great bit as my cat tries to get in the.
Hello. Oh, it's a kitty.
All right? He turned on all of my settings. This may be in the episode. It may not be. There might have just been a cat sticker over my face. Anyway.
Yeah, you as your cat ruining your thing. Me, it's my dad calling me forgetting if I don't answer the phone is because I'm recording. Thanks, Dad.
I wanted the bit with just Sam being defeated and the usual suspects. They're not looking so good. Is that
Yeah.
Scott? Okay, I'll be there in 30 minutes. That's kind of this attitude. It was so sad seeing it on Sam Levine. I know it was for show and it wasn't real, but it's like, you got Irwin. Come on, man, cheer up. Irwin's in the tournament.
Yeah, the dude. Yeah, it's true, dude. The guy. He's really good at playing the lovable loser, is he not?
He truly is my word of the day, apparently, because I've said it maybe 57 times this episode alone.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you this. What is your favorite Sam Levine role?
I am actually a big fan of a internet series he did a few years back called Crunch Time with Rooster Teeth. I thought that was I was watching a lot of Rooster Teeth productions back then, but I remember thinking this is a very special thing. It was a kind of exception, dealt with a lot of dreamscape stuff. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
And I also said the obvious, like Freaks and Geeks,
Oh yeah, for me, it's his role in Not Another Teen Movie. I think his character's name was Mitch. He played one of the Breakfast Club analogs.
That is a really good one. Sam Levine does a lot of great, like, just pop-ups. Like, and even his small, like, he knew he has 4 roles in Inglourious Bastards. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, he did a
spot like that.
Yeah, that's what I do. He also did a pop-up in How I Met Your Mother that was pretty funny. I think in one of the earlier seasons.
It's been far too long.
Yeah, I think it was like season 2, maybe 3. They're trying to sneak into a club. Sam Levine, he's stuck outside. In the episode, Barney accidentally dirty dances with his cousin, and Marshall takes some sort of narcotic to ease some tooth pain. It's an out there episode. I definitely recommend watching it.
I've definitely seen this episode.
Yeah,
but I guess it's just a matter of I haven't watched How I Met Your Mother a single episode since this series finale. So that is just like out. It's gone. That information is gone now.
I've done since it ended. I think I've done 3 run throughs.
Jeez, that is a
I
that's
I
commitment.
love that show. I'm also of the boat that the ending of the original ending doesn't bother me. The only thing that bothers me was how they kind of brushed the mother aside with her death. That's it. I don't. It doesn't bother me that he ended up with what's her face.
Robin.
Yeah, with Robin. It never bothered me, but that's just me. That's my hot take for the day.
Oh, speaking of hot takes, let's get into this next match, which was one of the matches that we actually we actually previewed on our tournament special weeks back.
Yes, it was.
Paul versus Eric Zipper.
Yeah.
Obviously, I had a lot of thoughts going into this match, and I was not let down. I was very thoroughly entertained by this.
Yeah, it wasn't until this match that I realized that Kate and Paul are another great team because they both play obnoxious very well.
Yeah, they really do. And it was clear from I had forgotten how much I loved the movie guys last season
Mm-hmm.
with just seeing those small clips of like Paul with the powder on his hands, slamming the whiteboard on the desk, or that bit he did where Adam Witt was the bouncer and nobody else was on the list for his entrance against Bateman. I forgot how much I missed the movie guys, specifically Paul Preston. It was so great back in the ring.
Oh yeah, the dude is way too funny. And when just to jump forward a little bit, when they when they spun Festival Darlings and his reaction, huh? Should we go with that one, Kate? Huh? What do you think? I was like, oh man, I was dying.
Yeah, it's oh my gosh, that's fantastic. And you got to imagine that I don't even know because there's like Zipper. I think like Zipper and Kaiser would have put that on for some psychological warfare,
Yeah.
but just the fact that it came up it's a godsend, and I hope every Kate's in festival can get on the wheel.
Oh God, yeah, that'd be so much fun. Just rub that salt in the wound.
Tom's got a match coming up against Tim. Throw it on.
Every second slice.
So so tell me something. Like, what did you think into this match? This was really the Dungeons. Eric Zipper is the Dungeons singles guy.
Yeah, he's the only one of theirs in the tournament, is he not?
No. They had Andres Gallegos,
Right.
who lost last week to Adam Collins. Then they have Vinny Mancuso, who's going to be playing Sabrina Ramirez a little bit later. Peek behind the curtain.
Why?
That episode hasn't aired yet, but we
Yeah.
will be coming out later, or
Why
by the
can't
time
I
you're seeing
remember
this.
these?
And Video Drew playing Mark Riley.
Okay, why can't I remember these things? It seems like I'm always forgetting something every episode. Dear God,
It's okay, man. It's
I
okay.
shouldn't have. I
You
shouldn't have
show.
taken that ladder to the head back in 2012. Ever since then, it's been all downhill from there. I used to have an elfin-like memory. Now, fuck.
You know, but Zipper really is the Dungeons. Zipper is the Dungeons like premier with a 1-1 record. He is their premier singles player. So it's
Yeah,
a lot.
would you have called that?
Like looking at Kaiser's draft at the beginning of the season, yes, because I knew that because we saw him play last season, but I would. It's shocking as much as, and there's no secret on this channel how big of a fan I am of Eric Zipper. That
Show them your Eric Zipper tattoo you have on your chest. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
that's That's for the North Down Under. I don't know.
Oh, all right.
I don't know what our show. I don't know what our after hour is called. Anyway, um, but Eric Zipper is a very good player. We see it with World's Finest when he played Winston. They got to a number one contenders match. You saw it very much in both the Haley Couch match last season and then the Stacy match. Still my match of the year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very good player, but he's not a Ben Bateman, a Dan Murrell, a John Roper, and Ethan Irwin. Someone that you can really say, all right, you're going into this tournament, you're going to get a lot of points. He's still relatively, this was his third match in singles, and it's hard to rest the future of your faction on the back of Eric Zipper.
Yeah. And what I like is you could tell this season he's playing with a chip on his shoulder. I think it was more evident in this match than in the other one. And it's definitely proved to be beneficial for him.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it was last season, and he talked about this a little bit in the episode of Northern Consultations that we did with him a few months back, where he is an OG dungeon guy, where him, Obama, Smets back in the day with Kaiser.
Yeah.
And Smet, they were getting belts, and he was getting left behind, and he wanted to prove something this season. Shown he is stepping up in every area, and that's another pairing I really like. I like Kaiser and Zip together. They have a very subtle energy, but it's an energy I can get behind.
Yeah, no, Zipper definitely completely changed his presentation when he went with Kaiser, and it was a good thing. And I'm starting to come around on Eric Zipper, where I actually think he might have a good shot to go all the way. He really might, yeah.
Yeah, he's got. I don't have the bracket in front of me, but he has a tough road from what I remember. But nobody has an easy road in this tournament.
Yeah,
a lot of people are playing some tough competition once they get through. But if he continues to play well, he would have got a perfect round, if not in round one, if he remembered which one of the crappy Die Hard movies it was. And can you blame him not remembering what Die Hard movie had Jai Courtney in it?
I just remember it was the last one. I also couldn't remember the name. It's actually the only Die Hard movie I haven't seen, for good reason.
I saw that one on a date for Valentine's Day.
And I'm assuming you're no longer with this person?
No longer. No. It was not a successful date.
Yeah.
Now, I actually want to talk to you a little bit about round one. As we
I think you say I want to talk to you about dating. I'm like, dude, I haven't had a date in years. I'm the wrong person.
I'm an engaged man, and I don't know how I could handle long distance again. I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
But the first question in round one, immediately a new kind of challenge is thrown out. What do you think about this? Because I have some weird feelings about this challenge.
Yeah, it's different. Like, you know what? Paul's not the first person to continue writing after zero, so I wonder why they decided to challenge that. It has to be because of Zipper's chip on his shoulder. It has to be. Because I think Zipper last year when it challenged it.
I think it's interesting because you throw down from last Friday with Shazam. Bibiani is waiting for the last, and just because Paul's internet was being better and it wasn't quite but it's interesting in this digital age when we do this show online. It's not always full one perfect internet connectivity while you're doing things. Sometimes lag happens. So it's a tricky precedent to set because what is writing after the timer, and I'm just 3 seconds behind you.
Yeah, yeah. That's one thing I've always wondered about, like how much that plays into this whole digital age, the whole lag. Because as we've noticed the last few times we're recording, it happens. So I guess it's a beauty when they do pre-recorded stuff. Like you can fix that or whatnot. But yeah, it's definitely an obstacle.
It's gonna be an obstacle, and not only will it be an obstacle, but it's something that happens all the time. I'm having some terrible lag right now, apparently. Who knows?
Yeah, it's the Eastern
Where
Canada internet.
I'm central. We've gone over this, sir. Central. Ontario is central.
Eastern adjacent, whatever. Anyways,
Everything's Eastern adjacent.
yeah.
You're Eastern adjacent.
True,
Anyway.
and it makes sense that you're saying you're central Canada because Toronto and area always assume they're the center of everything. So
Not to relitigate. I am not from the GTA, sir. I am not GTA. Don't lump me in with them. Anyway, uh, so round two, Paul, going to round two, Eric Zipper's up 7-6, and Paul Preston's going to get comic book movies. Interesting thing here.
After the aforementioned Festival Darlings moment.
Yeah. And after my cat swats my iPhone away.
You're having a grand old time over there, ain't you, Dave?
I'm having internet things. This is a whole episode. Who knows how much of this is going to be in the show? Anyway.
All of it. Anyway.
All of it. Keep it all. Cut it out again. Anyway. It's interesting. I didn't realize that comic book was remaining its own slice while the inner geekdom slice existed.
Really, I never. It's not something that ever occurred to me because it is technically still movies. So why wouldn't it be on there?
Well, now I just think it's interesting now forward. Someone like Mike Kalinske and Chance Ellison, why not put comic book movies and the inner geekdom slice on the wheel when you're playing the Founding Fathers?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, we haven't seen the official rulebook. That is their right because they can choose two slices, no? So they can't do that.
I think you can. I just, for whatever reason, I got in my head that comic book movies was going to be absorbed by the inner geekdom slice.
Yeah, I never thought that because a lot of these competitors like comic book movies, so it just makes sense to leave it in the singles.
Yeah, but Paul, and even Paul, talking a big game before it about like Zipper's got a punchable face, such a cool frat guy. Love that energy. He does all right in comic movies. Zipper's gonna get us one steal off here. And he's gonna and Paul ended up walking away with 4 points of his possible 8 using multiple choice.
Yeah,
it's interesting to see how people are able to finagle their way through this because these were some not tough comic book movie questions, but stuff that you wouldn't know unless you had definitely seen the movie.
Yeah, there were. I'm trying to think. I think there was only one I didn't know, and some I was actually surprised that Paul missed just because of how old the movies were.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I when he spun it, I was like, oh, he's gonna do good. She got this, and there's like, well, maybe comic book movies aren't his thing.
Maybe they aren't his protein powder. Speaking of, what did you think of the true use of passing something to camera where Kate made a protein shake for him and passed it to him in between rounds?
Fucking genius. That's what that was.
Yeah, I couldn't believe no one had done that yet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, no, it was
no,
amazing.
I want
That's what I love about Kate is just the prop comedy that she's brought to the Schmoedown. It's amazing.
it really is. Now, I hope that that has been cleared. There were no performance enhancing substances in that drink. Um, Not that it really ended up mattering, but these are all things to be looking at if we're going to start asking things to our competitors.
Yeah, maybe. You never know what Paul puts in his drink.
And never, you really, and so Zipper's going to do. Though we've talked a lot about Paul Preston here. Eric Zipper's going to get 2010 tens, and he's going to go 4 for 4 and multiple choice to get his way around. He does very well in his category in round 2. What did you think of after seeing both of their round 2s? Did you know it was locked up?
No, that's the thing with majority of the matches that we have right now. A lot of the talent, it's never a sure thing coming out of the second round for the most part. I mean, yes, we had an idea with what happened with Sabina and Lon, but yeah, no, for the most part, everyone's more or less. There's more parity I'm finding in the Schmoedown this season than in years past. So for me, it's never a lock coming out of round 2.
No, you're 100% right, and that's even what even me as the Eric Zipper I am was like. I'm down to that. It's going to come down to it's going to be a situation. I'm going to get Harkin all over again, but that's not what happened this time.
No, he let Kaiser choose his numbers, and apparently that was the difference maker.
You know what? People just are superstitious. We saw that in the lawn match earlier, talking about you should not change your underwear when you're on a run like this. Maybe that's just the thing. Maybe Zipper just needs to stop picking numbers, and the questions will come.
Maybe goofy superstitions like that have been around for a long time. I know that it's been around in hockey where, if you're on a hot streak, you don't change your underwear or you don't change this or you don't change that. So, I mean, it's weird, but it works.
Yeah, and it's very strong. Paul Preston gets his 2. I can't get his 3 or his 5. And Eric Zipper walks out of here with a TKO for the dungeon.
Yeah, I wouldn't have seen that.
Would not, especially not because Zipper was someone who went in the 3rd round of the draft, and a lot of people really saw that as a loyalty pickup, where
And it was. It was.
It definitely was, but it was a lot of people were saying if Kaiser doesn't take him, then Zip's probably going to fall to like the 5th or 6th round because he's an all right player. Paul Preston went like 12th fall.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. He did.
This is someone who I think, and this was not his best match.
No.
Clearly, this is not the Paul Preston we've seen play in any of his other matches.
Do you think ring rust played a part in that? I should say.
I think so. I think when we talk about ring rust, we often only talk about the champion, and we talk about Dan Murrell coming out of retirement, talking about Smets on the shelf for months and not getting to compete. But I think it's at every level, ring rust is apparent. And I also think that some people are just more comfortable doing these online webcam matches. And I know Paul's a online personality, but sitting down in your office or your recording space to do something and sitting down on your couch to try and focus are very things. And maybe Paul just has not found that je ne sais quoi, if you will.
Well, Paul is a showman at heart, and you can tell that he thrives off the audience. And so yeah,
Mhm.
he's definitely gonna have to like. I mean, he said he's not playing until January now, but I mean that's one thing he's gonna have to learn is how to do it without the audience.
Yeah, and I hope so much that Paul, he was like, I'm out till January, so who knows? Or maybe I would hate, and I really hope that the digital era does not drive away a lot of these great talents. We barely scratched the surface of what people like Paulson and Adam Witt
Yeah.
and people like that are capable of. I hate to lose him because of the digital era.
I honestly don't think anybody's going anywhere. I really don't.
Oh, thank
They
God.
they all yeah. That's just my view on it because I mean everyone realizes this isn't a permanent thing, the digital era.
Mhm.
So yeah, I just that's just the feeling in my stomach that we're not gonna really lose many people.
Well, that's good. Now, before we before we wrap up, I just got some quick predictions. I actually pulled up the bracket. I just want to get your thoughts on who they could potentially be and how you think Lon and Zip are gonna face off. Both of
Okay.
them have not favorable matchups potentially coming down the road. So Lon, we'll do Lon first. Lon is playing either John Roca or Adam Collins next.
Oh, I would love to see Roca and Lon. Just to see
I
Roca, get frustrated with Lon, because it's highly likely.
it it's very likely, and I would love to see that. Even have Adam Collins upsetting Roca.
Oh man, that would. You know what? If that were happen, Roca's done. He's hanging it up.
I think that all depends on where the team belt.
Well, yeah. But I mean, I could see that being the death nail of his solo career for sure.
Yeah, but either way, so let's just technically say, how do you think Lon, just quick fires as we wrap up, how do you think Lon stacks up against Roca in the second round? And then I'll say how I think he would fare against Collins.
I'd say he'd smoke Collins, but with Roca, he'd be more evenly matched. That one would be. That one would be. I use the word again. That would be a barn burner.
Mhm. I think I think with Collins would be a very close match where I think the two of them both showed very high acumen in round
Mm.
one, and I think it would really come down to that wheel spin.
Oh,
It would really
yeah.
come down to that because I think round three, where it's more of a crapshoot, I think both of them would be uh, they have one berth, but it's going to come down to who would get their speciality in round two. Roca, I think, takes Lon. I think just I can't bet against experience, even though very experienced player. I can't bet against him.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but I think Lon, without trying to, could probably get into Roca's head.
Yeah, I think Lon's lack of trying could be the exact thing that makes Roca snap. It's like
Yeah.
he takes it so seriously as the person who is pretending to not take it seriously at all.
Yeah.
Even though I'm starting to be convinced that the delinquent is who Lon really is, and Lon as he goes into like screen junkies and stuff, that is the persona.
Yeah, I believe it. I follow him on Twitter, and I definitely see more of the delinquent in him than I did the professor.
All right, and Eric Zipper had a very similar potential matchup where he is playing either Ethan Irwin, Mancuso, or Sabrina Ramirez. Less we can do speculating on that one because we don't know actually who's playing Ethan Irwin.
Yeah.
But we could have a dungeon v dungeon situation, or we could Irwin have an upset rookie in Sabrina who's upset Ethan Irwin and is now coming to play Zipper. So just for our sake, let's say Irwin wins, because I think
More
we
than
all
likely.
think that. Yeah, very likely. I think Zip can take Ethan.
No.
No, I don't either. I think this is a very short conversation. I would
Yeah,
love it.
pretty much.
My heart would be a flutter. I may show that tattoo that I don't have for legal reasons. You can't prove anything. I would definitely be. My heart would be a flutter if that truly did happen. But I think that's an Irwin. That's a game.
Yeah, for sure. That's Irwin all the way. But hey, you never know. I mean, there's something different about Zipper, so anything is possible, but highly unlikely. Highly unlikely in all likelihood.
Anything is possible for a possible. Include subscribing to Schmoedown on YouTube.
Oh, I see what you did there. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, without further ado, I think we're gonna wrap this thing up, man. Like I said, you follow us on Twitter at Northern Schmoes. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're looking for me, go back and watch any of the other episodes. I plugged all my stuff there.
Yeah, and if you're looking for me, same soda_the_saxman, Twitter and Instagram. And you can find me now on the Media Sweaties Network on YouTube, where we just recorded our first episode of Get Sweaty, where we talk about the top news of the movie news of the week, the top sports news of the week, talk about the top things that happen across all content creators of the week, and then we delve into our favorite topics. This first episode was our top 5 favorite movies. And so that was a great time. So yeah, definitely you can check me out over there as well.
That's an exciting thing to hear, Matt. Man, I'm glad to see you spreading your wings. Little Soda's leaving the nest. So
yeah,
happy.
I'm convinced the only reason I'm there is because I'm the only one who's actually done it.
All right. You keep doing it. Keep coming back. Keep watching. We have more episodes like every other day. It seems like. How can you keep up?